Alright, here we go again. Let's see. Popping up the music. Live notification sent out. Cool. Yes, everything's working. Nice. So, we're going at it again. Last time we did a lot of cleanup on the lower legs. We got the bandages, we had the knee pad cleanup, and we cleaned up the glove segments, at least part of them. And looking at it now as an overall, I think the part that I'd like to work on today is going to be the hair. We've been focusing on the body for quite a bit, though if we look at the face, that now looks a little bit outdated. So definitely the mask needs to get cleaned up, and the hair needs to get split up into smaller segments. So hair is one of those things where you have to trust the process. That is not my strongest suit. Hi Blue, welcome on in. Yeah, trusting the process with hair, so we're gonna do our best and trust that process, and we're gonna work on the hair today. So looking at the concept, or rather, I've been looking at some other sculpts earlier this week, and I genuinely think that this thing just needs more tufts rather than have 3 big ones and then 2 tufts at the front to showcase hair. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Let's see. So yeah, we're gonna be throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what's gonna stick. Hello, awesome gamer. Welcome on in. Happy to see people joining in at the start, and probably at the 1 hour difference than what is regular for most, as daylight saving kicked in over here. So everyone gets to look at the clock again and go like, hey, are we supposed to start now or like in an hour? Or get the message that they're late for an hour. Okay, so looking at the hair folder, we have top, back, front lock. Yeah, so what I think I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to... I feel like I should be doing this a lot looser than what I'm normally doing, so I'm just going to start appending spheres and go from there. I'll grab an insert sphere. This one at the top, or rather at the center. I'm electing to use like... This is more of like a subdivided cube. Because the other one... The other one has a point at the front, though maybe that's not the best to have. Hey Debrinator, welcome on in. Though maybe we will. Alright, we're gonna try it with this one, so we are going to... Let's see. Split, split unmasked. So we have our old hair, and now we have our new one. And we're just gonna start tugging and pulling on it. See what's gonna end up from it. So yeah, we're gonna see how today's gonna go. A little bit low energy. I've already expended quite a bit of energy on the freelance gig earlier today, but through discipline, we're gonna keep at it with the freelancing. Or yes, we're gonna stick with the freelancing because that's what I'm getting paid for. I meant the live streaming. Like, we're gonna keep working on it. Okay, so what do I want? I want these 3 main tufts to be split into smaller tufts. So let's start with that. Okay. Games and notifications. I'll push those back until later. Okay. Hey, Ilianos, welcome on in. Okay, so let's, as a test, I should. Okay, I'm already thinking way too much about this. So how about we just Siri mesh them? Or rather, I want this to be a lower poly for starters. So let's just other groups. I'm just gonna dynamesh them. Turn off, and then I want a small tuft at the side. Now we're gonna mirror and weld. Hope you're well. Yeah, a little bit low energy, but we're gonna stick with it. And we're gonna do hair of all things now, so that is going to require some thinking power, but we're gonna make it work. Okay. I will turn this one off for now. Again, with hair, it's all about flow. It's about finding the proper, finding proper volumes. So the main tools that I'm using is the pinch brush to try and get those, just to get the tapering in. Try to have them, whatchamacallit. There is a theory of like 2x3s. So currently we have these two tufts. Rather, we have these two tufts, but you don't want to see the entire center line of it. So that's why you put another tuft over it, so it kind of falls over it. And we'll taper this one at the root. Yeah, these things need to remain quite thin because this is again a mohawk. I hope everyone's been doing well this week. Let's see, then we have some colors. Oh, hang on, I have to start Clip Studio Paint so I can do some color grabs. You should not be able to see this. Good. I will just... Let's see, I guess this is the right color. It. Okay. Doing good, just been chilling, trying to get the other projects done now that the side quest of this model is done. Ah, nice. Hi Norin, welcome on in. Okay. So looking at this, maybe this one can go lower. So we can see that what is this? I'm guessing this is a pink. It has some flow. It's not going all the way there, so it should be like this. Okay, for the moment we will just keep it straight and symmetrical. I would imagine that later on during rigging you can put some bones into these tufts and then have them wave to either the left and right to break symmetry. Or we could do that completely at the end. But for now, for the blocking out, I would like it to be symmetrical so it's easier to manipulate. Alright. We are just going to continue on. So again, we're going to sketch it. As long as we have the essence, and then we can just move on. So I gotta loosen up a whole lot. I can already feel myself getting tense. Okay. The Iceman 2006. Thank you very much for the follow. Right. So we select this one, and we're just going to duplicate it. And this is going to become base tufts for this one. Very welcome. You're not a furry, but I respect you. Oh, thank you. So, yeah, we're working on this project. So, yeah, welcome on in. Get comfortable. If you're a 3D artist yourself, alright, cool. You might be able to pick up something. And then we're all just gonna have a chill time in here. Okay, let's see. So the center one that has like a bright and a pink. So again, 2 tufts. So this one, let's hide this one. Duplicate it again. Give this color. Oh. Let's see, what is the vibe of this one? This one is in a very tight point. I'm a 3D artist and I don't draw. But I do have a talent for customizing wrestlers in WWE video games. Oh, so you use the character customization to make characters. Alright, that's cool. It's always fun where you can do that in character customization of games. It's always a lot of fun. Yeah, welcome on in. Okay. And then we look at the reference, and we see like a little small tuft at the side. So we're gonna grab this one. Butter. This one, move it, and this one's like a smaller one. This one is again following flow. Let's sit back. Again, just like sketching, we're gonna work on like smaller shapes first. We do have to make sure that we don't accidentally flatten out too much. So now they become like flattened angles, and that's not what we want. First customized wrestler for WWE 2K 2019. Oh, alright. Nice that you're customizing. What is this model for? This is a portfolio project. In the top right you see the concept art that I've chosen. It's made by Ale55 on social media. Full credit for the design goes to them. I'm just trying to make it into a 3D model. The idea of this is to run it through the entire gauntlet of high poly, low poly, baking, texturing, and then putting it in the beauty pose. All of this so that hopefully companies will see it and be like, hey, you have good skills. Would you like to come work for us? Because currently my status is still unemployed. Oh, hey LabCode, welcome on in. Okay. This needs to get tucked in more. Hello, hello, how have you been? Okay, going back to this one. Rather, I'm gonna steal these two. Split in. Get rid of these two. You've been great. Okay, great to hear that. How have I been? It's been going well. I'm still waiting for an answer from a company that approached me with an art test. I haven't heard back from them yet, but we're gonna keep on. We're gonna hold on to hope that they're still deliberating internally, and hopefully that they are gonna give me an answer soon. That would be nice. Okay, and then we have the tuft in the back. I feel like this one can be a little bit thicker. Oh, ZBrush, please don't crash. Okay, cool. I think that's the first crash of the. That's the first crash of the stream. This thing is no longer responding. Cool. Great. Love it when that happens. I'm gonna turn this off for a split second. One of these buttons is autosave. I'm gonna hit that a few times. Because otherwise we get to do this again. If ZBrush even wishes to close. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I have to browse through some folders that have files in it that are not available for the public yet. Oh, you went to Lightbox, nice. How was it? Much more than you could have expected or imagined. Nice. Hope you had a lot of fun talking to other industry folks over there. Okay, let's see. Bad news. We lost progress. So luckily it's only like 20 minutes. Though, yeah, we lost progress. I think autosave is set to every half an hour, so we were 8 minutes away from getting a nice little autosave. This sometimes happens, we can't do much about it, so we just keep on going. So we start again. Cool. Yeah, I hit the autosave button, but that did nothing, so I guessed it was just a memory leak somewhere. Alright, we go again. Okay. Color fill. I kind of want to go to more industry conventions as well. Over here in the Netherlands we have a few. Playgrounds is one of the bigger ones that I always attend, or at least try to. I've been going there for the last 3 years. It's a lot of fun meeting up with folks. A bunch of my old teachers are also there. There's always a couple of there's always a couple of studios there as well. You'll even find some smaller ones, such as like people from news stations or like small broadcasting stations that are trying to do their own thing. And yeah, you get to have a talk with them. And that's always very nice. Okay, let me get that color back. Cool. I I think we can just duplicate this one immediately. That's a nice thing about, okay, we had a crash, but we've already done it once, and the second time is always a lot faster. So it's not that big a deal. I didn't talk to studios or exhibitors quite as much. Yeah, just hanging out with other people at a convention. That's always a lot of fun. There's one fun thing that they have at the playgrounds. They have these really long. They're almost like picnic benches. They are inside and they're completely covered with long rolls of paper. And then they just put a lot of markers, pencils, and pens down. Then everyone is allowed to just draw on them. So you get this really big collaborative art piece from all the attendees. It gets very chaotic very quickly, but it's a lot of fun. Let's see, we had like one here. I'd love to go to more international ones as well, see how they are over there, though unfortunately with current financial state, that will be roughly irresponsible. Yeah, maybe in a few years that'll be different again, hopefully. What do we have? This one. Sharpen these up a little bit. Again with the pinch brush, just really try to get them into a point. Ads are starting in 30 minutes, so get up, do some stretches, get some water. I'm still trying to get into the flow, so I'll do that on the next ad break. Okay, this one's way too big. Let's see. That looks about right, and we're back where we were. And we did that only in like 4 minutes. Or, well, no, 10. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That we're back at least where we started. We did it in half the time. It's always nice. Okay. Let me hit save. Still doesn't feel quite right. Probably, okay, the tapering on this one looks to have gotten away from us, so we'll just very gently with the inflate brush bring it back a bit. Get this one so it's a little bit more angular again. Okay, cool. Now for the one in the back. That one, it looks like a big clump, though if I look at the lines that are drawn in it and a little bit of the shadow indication, it does appear that they want it to be multiple smaller chunks that are forming into a larger one at the back. And we really want to get that silhouette chunk in there. Let's see. So again, I'm gonna form this one a little bit. Cool. We are going to grab this one, mask it, and holding control. Yeah, holding control. We're gonna just move it away, and we're gonna duplicate it here 3 times, and then we'll work with that. I think what I want to do is echoing the shapes. We'll grab this one. We'll have a smaller one, a big one, and then a smaller one at the back again. Now we can hide this one. And see if we can make like a nice little mohawk ending over there. Okay. Does look like in the back it's more voluminous. Looks like this one. Oh, hey Lady Kurai, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. So this one, the tapering needs to get fixed. Alright, I'm doing well. We're working on hair. We've already suffered one crash this stream, so we're off to a great start. Though, after X amount of crashes over the course of 10 years, I should knock on wood before saying that. I'm not that bothered by crashes anymore. Usually, okay, it sucks that you lose progress, though. Usually you're able to recreate what you've lost in a couple of minutes. So rather than spending the energy being angry or like disappointed, just suck it up, reload the file, recreate it, and then 10 minutes later you're back to normal. Or rather back to your progress. Okay, so looking at it from a distance. I want this to be more chunky and more forward. But yeah, so far we're doing well. We are throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to get this hair to look as much like the concept as possible. Though it's hair, it works from one angle and then you have to fix it up from all the others. And that's what we're 3D artists for. So it's where the 2D department gives you a nice drawing and it doesn't match up from every angle. Okay. I kinda want to say that these lines should go like this. You've done this part before, you know it's possible, just do it how you did it the first time. Bennett Foddy. That sounds like a nice quote. And yeah, I guess that's also true. Let's see what it looks like throughout the year. So we turn on transparent ghost mode, and we are in the spooky season. Speaking of spooky, does anyone have any Halloween plans? You think about it when stuff crashes. I'll have to look up more about Bennett Foddy. No plans on your end, just gonna chill? Yeah. I'm hoping to attend some movie nights with some friends in VR chat. The only unfortunate part is that they are on the other side of the planet, so we love time zones. Also, Poel, thank you very much for the follow. Hey there, welcome on in. Okay, so let's look at the flow a little bit again. This one needs to be a bit more curve. I want this one to come in. Gee, so many familiar faces in here. That makes me very happy. I'm just gonna turn off the ears for like a little bit. Because here we see a lot of wobbly lines and I don't want that. You're lurking, but love what you're seeing. Thank you very much. And yeah, enjoy the lurkers is what makes Twitch go round. So yeah, to all the people that are sitting in here just chilling without chatting, thank you very much. Just bought a VR headset, an impulse buy from a stressful family vacation, retail therapy. Oh. Well, VR chat is a lot of fun. I've been playing it on desktop mode for the better part of 2 years now. I keep telling myself that I will get a headset, though after 2 years, still no headset. I'm in the camp that's waiting for Steam to update their the what is it called, the Deckard. When that thing becomes available, or like information about it becomes available, I'll look into it and probably get that thing. Yeah, lurkers unite. Lurkers unite quietly. Alright, let's look at this front lock again, because last time we did it in like geometry based. I feel like we can make this softer. It could be a one and done experiment and the headset gets shelved to gather dust. Maybe, though VR chat tends to suck people in, and then it's like, hi, I'm now waking up at 4 in the morning just to hang out with friends on the other side of the planet. That is absolutely what happened to me. I've met some wonderful people over there, and it's a lot of fun when you meet other people that are also 3D artists in there, and then you just start talking about like, oh yeah, I made this one thing for my avatar, and then they just disappear in a particle effect and then apparate somewhere a little whiles away, and it's like, ah, cool. You're a technical artist. I'm gonna pick your brain now. It's a lot of fun. Alright, we're doing the thing again where we're spinning, so let me focus up a bit again. Okay, yeah, let's focus on the front lock a little bit. Yay, family! Oh no, arguments, let me buy something expensive. Yay, yes. Yeah. There's occasional VR use, and then there's people who become creatures of VR. I think sorry, correction. I think when I get a proper VR headset, I will become one of those creatures of VR. Okay, let me... I'm going to duplicate this one. Keep one. Delete everything else. And we're gonna be brave, and we're just gonna... Kofu has preemptively apologized for being horizontal if we haven't made a view. Yeah, Kofu likes to just lie on the floor and be in VR chat, which is a mood. Again, I've always been in desktop mode, so I have the default animations. God, the day I get full body tracking, I have a beanbag. It is a big one, and for years now it's just been sitting in the... It sits in the room that I use for laundry, and it just has piles of clothes on it. when I get full body tracking, I'll be moving that beanbag to the living room, and then okay, cool. I now live on my beanbag and enjoy VR space. Okay, let me just turn this off and focus on this. So take standard. Beanbag would be nice in my office. Wish you could merge my living room with the office. Ah, beanbags are nice. Beanbags are nice, though they are such a dangerous thing, because once you're in it and you get comfy, congratulations, you do not want to get that again. How do I... What is the curling word? Used to mostly stand in VR, then I got full body tracking and sitting and laying down. Yep. Again, full body tracking. I have multiple friends who have full body tracking setups. So it's another level of immersion when you see someone just, alright, they literally walk into the scene and then you see them sit down and you're like, okay, cool, yes, immersion, this is really nice. And then you sit there but like default pose because you're a desktop user. One day Steam will release the Deckard, and then us Deckard copers can stop coping. HazzyXE, thank you very much for the follow. Let's see. If we compare this one with what we had. Yeah, so it's definitely the right choice to go more organic with this one rather than try to polymodel it out. Looking at the reference again, it feels like this thing needs to be wider. We have like a little arch downwards here. Needs to go in a bit more. Can be a little who use full body tracking, lie down and float around everywhere. Yeah. Though I think you also have an option to then have your avatar just have their height value be adjusted so they're lying on the floor. Okay, looking at the concept, I should probably split this one up in like 3 chunks. Because if we look at the art, we have like some lines indicating that there are shorter ones up top. And there's one at the bottom and one on the side. Okay, so let's see if this works with 4. Then rather than... Okay. Something that artists do, or like other people, and again, this is all depending on the style, is where they put... they start carving into it with Damien standard to indicate that, oh yeah, this is multiple chunks. Now that is something that you can do. You can even do like, okay, a little V shape on it, or you mask it out. And if you have enough topology to hold on the shape, to like nudge it out. And try to like make layered looks like that. So I think for this style, let me undo all of that. I think for this one, I wanted to have like it's the main mohawk where you see multiple tufts all side by side. So I think I'll do that as well for the front lock as a test. So let's see how this goes. So currently we only have 2. We hit auto groups. This one we will. Oh, partially hidden. Okay. So we'll one underneath. 1, 2, 3, and then we need a small one. That's gonna be underneath. So we'll see how this goes. This one, the other side. Still here. This program looks pretty cool. Yeah, this is ZBrush. Welcome on in. This is ZBrush. This is a sculpting program. It's pretty nifty, and basically everything starts from a sphere. And you just keep tugging and pulling on it until you get something that resembles a full-blown character. When you put in enough time. So yeah, thank you very much and welcome on in. Currently we are working on the hair. I need to... I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall and hope that some of it will stick. So far quite a bit of it has been sticking around, so that makes me happy. Blender on another level. Yeah, so at its core, both of them, or rather, it is the sculpting workflow, which is when you have a lot of... Hey, Xat. It's when you have a lot of polygons to create the high poly. So if you look at the top right, this entire model is currently 23, almost 24 million polygons. Blender, I don't think it can handle those numbers yet, because ZBrush is doing some... This is not actually polygons, this is not actually 3D, this is more of a fake 2.5D. Because, fun fact, ZBrush started out as a painting program, as in 2D painting, but then a bunch of 3D artists got their hands on the program and they were like, hi, we're gonna start making 3D with it, hope you don't mind. And then we altered the course of the software. It's like, alright, you want to do this for 3D? Sure, we'll implement 3D support. And then that became the main thing. It's pretty funny. So let's see, it looks like, so we have our this one coming in here. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more. But yeah, it is Blender on another level, though the opposite, or rather in exchange for it, this program only does high poly really well. The second you want to do stuff like, you can retopologize in this software package, though nobody in their right mind, or sorry, that's mean to say. A lot of people prefer to do it in something like Maya or in Maya or Blender. Because again, the tools are more specialized towards sculpting in ZBrush, so that's what you use it for. I'm sure someone out there is using ZBrush for retopology, and I wish that person well. I will keep using Maya. Let's see, so this one goes in. Yeah. Words of wisdom, use the tools that you want, use the tools that are most efficient for you. Don't have any loyalty to software packages. If you gotta swap out for something because another package does it better, do that. I actually had to do the same thing in the office back at my previous job, where we had to do camera tracking for a shot, and that's when you figure out that Maya got rid of camera tracking for some reason. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll install Blender because that has camera tracking. And then you use Blender for a little bit. Zooming out. It still looks a little bit lumpy, but I like the layering that we have going on. That's nice. Okay, we do have to make sure that the underside of this remains proper. Okay, a little bit of a weird camera angle. I think this needs to change. Blender has definitely gotten better performance-wise, but it's missing a lot of quality of life that ZBrush has. Yeah, though I'm very happy with how Blender is kicking it up a notch and forcing other software packages to take note of it. As in, hey, we actually have some competition going on. ZBrush, continue innovating, and I'm not talking about Slime Bridge. Do something or you're gonna lose your edge. And I'm happy about that, because the thing that I hate most is software packages just sitting on the subscription service but no longer innovating, or they're just cashing in money. That's something that I vehemently hate. Coincidentally, I'm still on ZBrush 2022, which is a perpetual license because I don't need the next version. I don't need version 2025. There's nothing in ZBrush 2025 that I need, like that I can't do in 2022. Like, everything I need is in this version. I don't need to update, and I'm sure as hell not gonna turn this into a subscription. All right, cool. That was a tiny rant. I will not let that go on. Okay. Let's see. So that's one lock. Looking at it from now, rather looking at it from a distance, does look like the roots need to. Like, this is a very fine point. So let's make sure that it stays like that. Oh, ad break is happening. How you feel about Substance Painter? Wish there were better texturing softwares. Have you taken a look at Marmoset Toolbag? They have been upping their texturing suites as well. I saw some pretty good results out of that one. Especially I've been using Marmoset Toolbag for baking a whole lot more because it allows you to group things. And it gives you a lot more control over the baking than in the version of Substance that I've been using for the last, I don't know, I think I bought Substance in 2020. And for the longest time never had a reason to update until, like, I have 2025 now and I'm gonna give that a go. Probably on this character? Oh yeah, the money, yes, that's always a deciding factor. Marmoset likes to throw out sales from time to time, and they also have a 30-day trial period if you ever just want to check it out. Marmoset Toolbag has my vote when it comes to, like, hey, how is it? I'll say, like, okay, yes. I find it very useful. Okay, let's see if we can get the angularity in here a little bit. Over it with H polish a little bit, see if we can flatten it out a bit. Get some of that stylized look in there. And with the smooth tool, bring it back a little bit with a move brush. See if we can. Oh, that completely botched. Again, save. Okay. And just as a quick checkup. Oh, follower goal met. 200 people. Vintage Moon, thank you very much for the follow. So this is what we had when we started, and this is where we are now. So overall, I'm happy with it having a lot more breakup. I think silhouette-wise. Hang on, I need. Let's see, silhouette-wise. Also quite happy with it. Okay, so it does feel a bit wobbly. So I'm gonna do this as a test. Just so I currently have it set to flat shading, so we only see the material. So now we can, without getting distracted by like purely looking at silhouette, see if we can get that better. We should probably do this a lot more, where it's just silhouette information, that's all we can see. Let's make it a little bit darker. Okay, I really want to have this, well, hang on, I really want this area to be a lot more sharper. Hang on, can we, with AccuCurve? See if this works. Unfortunately, we keep getting this wavy effect, and I'm not quite sure how to handle that. But again, this is hair, this is tricky, and we have to trust the process. But at least it's already looking a whole lot better than what we started with. So I'm happy about that. And again, I keep doing the thing where we're completely zoomed in. If we look at the character from a distance, especially if we make like a little beauty render, it's starting to look fine. Okay. So how about we leave, well actually, I want to try something, because as we can see in the concept, it has like these little, they're very gestural brush strokes that are like, they're almost like scratch marks. They're on the silhouette, and I think I can put in some rods to help mimic that effect. Just to see what it does. I want to see what it does. Been trying to figure out a beard for model, and it's not easy. Hair truly is the enemy. Hair is such a complex whatchamacallit. Hair is complex, hair has depth, hair has overlapping elements, and the first 80 to 90% is trusting the process, and then in the last 10% suddenly it's there. Suddenly it looks like a it's a beard with volume, or it looks like it's a haircut that has proper depth. Everything before that is everything before that is pain. I'm gonna delete some edge loops. Also, this thing is really dense. For a test, this is fine. So I don't need these at all. Oh. Insert multiple edges. So what I'm doing here is capping the top and bottom off. Okay. So as a test, what happens when we start adding these little you can kind of call them strays. What happens when we put these in? Again, this is experimental. We're not going to put too much time into this, but I just want to know what it looks like. I have like a few in the back. A little bit too thick. Let's see if we can fix that. Deformation. Very, very small, like, negative inflate. Then relax. Nope. Polish by features. Sure. Hey who, welcome on in. Okay, currently all of them are like pretty perfect. So what if we like mess around with the move brush a little bit? Give him some gesture. Hey Lemon, welcome on in. That is an emote combo to come in for today. Congratulations, you win today's internet. Okay, we can delete this. We're done with that. Okay, so as I guess this is more of a graphical element. Love the design of your fella. Are you talking about the 3D model? Because that one's designed by Il55. If you're talking about the gremlin in the bottom left, yes, that is me. Drew him by hand. The gremlin. Ah, thank you. I need to work on more redeems so we can pet the gremlin at some point. Because like in that emote that you just sent. I need to get the hand of that one and then we'll like put it on a layer so we can like pet the gremlin in the bottom left corner. Okay. We cannot forget about the hair in the back. So let's see, this hair. Yeah, we need a pet emote. Yes. Oh, and a dance emote. Ah, yeah, I need to sit down and decide on what emotes that I want and then how I can either make it myself or find some artists that are open for commissions and then wait until I've had a paycheck first, and then we can commission all of our friends again. Okay. Looking at the hair on the back. So again, I effectively in this bottom right corner is where I have a Pura file that is not being captured by stream, but I have a lot more. Let's see if we look at this one. So I'm basically using this one as a ref, and then if we look at the back of the head, we can see that this also requires multiple smaller tufts. So that's exactly what we'll do. Let this one go more outwards. So let's see, I think we can just duplicate a couple of these. So these have a lot cleaner topology, which makes it somewhat easier to work with. And we'll just duplicate this one in. This is going to be on the lower one, so that's fine. And then we will be some smaller tufts like this. Oh, Julianos, thank you so much for the gift sub. Going out to who? Thank you very much. You can now use... Where is it? Yay! Thank you so much. Let's see. So I do believe that I want this to be more layered. Also, I apologize if anyone can hear like a leaf blower going on. I guess the neighborhood has decided that now is an opportune moment to start blowing away all of the leaves. Oops. Nope, we have a hype train. Cool. I think Twitch actually did something to the algorithm where now it's like a lot more like whatchamacallit, that hype trains can just spawn randomly. It is a little bit of gamification of it, and I don't know how much of a fan I am of it. Legally, alright, yeah, legally distinct Jano Love is also in here. Let's see, where is it? This one. It very clearly says Kenyon for love as the code. This is not Jano Love. Very important legal distinction. This is getting a little bit messy. Mainly because we went over the center line, this model is now it went over the center line. If we want to move it now, okay, I take it back. This thing is working as intended. Like this. Okay, cool. Chat, I was wrong. So this thing does allow for splitting. So how do we want to have this layered? So these are some very big chunky tufts, and I think I want it to be a lot more smoother. For example, this one, it's weird how on the scalp it's thin and then over here it's thicker again, so I think I'm just gonna split this one into like two smaller ones. Smooth it down, move it out. We will grab a copy and move like this. And all of these type of small differences, it will make it look like it's a lot more layered. And that gives a way nicer result. I should probably add a second layer on top of it so we really get the layering effect going on. So why is this not moving? Oh, because it has a mask on it. Cool. Again, I want to have these lines to be a bit tighter. Because again, on the 2D drawing, it has a few large chunks. Oh, we are in an ad break, or rather an ad break is incoming, so let me say this fast. In the 2D drawing, thanks to the lines, it looks a lot more detailed than it is. What I think I have to do in 3D is add another layer on top, just so we get that looser feeling. So I think that's what I'm going to do. This effect is coming from here. What's going on here? Why are you missing the tip? That one doesn't have a cap on it. Shoot. Okay. Well, we can get rid of that one, delete hidden, grab this one, and create that one as a new one. So what I think is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add another layer on it as a quick sketch, see how that looks. Probably don't want to have these as silhouette breakers, so we're going to just have them be a lot more hanging down. You sit on top of the previous layer. Because again, hair is all about layering. And we need a center one. Center line, we'll grab the one that's at the bottom, or rather, that's already in the middle. Just move it out. And again, if we want to break the center line, we will do that, but at a later stage. Just for the moment, other groups may not. We will break silhouette at a later stage, but for the blockout, we will be keeping it symmetrical. look like all of them are going to the same origin. Welcome back from the ads. Good. This. Okay. So looking at it from distance, looks better. I definitely need to look up some reference. Excuse me. I definitely need to look up some reference about like how mullets kind of hang. And this looks way too uniform when we have 1, 2, 3, 4 spikes just hanging there. But for now, like what we had and where we are now, I'd say that this looks better. Let's see, we have this one. A little bit of sculpting to get that planar feel into it. Trying to match the style. I feel like this one needs to be thicker. As a test, we'll duplicate these two. We can have those merged with the center one. So that the center is currently just this huge blob. Don't think that's the way to go. We want to make it look more fine. We're gonna just slightly break it up. So what I did here is this is what happens when you do the mirror and weld. For the moment, this is fine. Yeah, so that's when you get this welding and then it merges into a single thing and then you can't go back anymore. Let's see if I can... Yeah, because this is what happens. So auto groups does work if you have symmetry turned on. Okay, good to know. I'll just pinch this one. I have a morph brush. And see if we can get the layering to look a little bit more natural. Oh, without it showing the skeleton. Okay, I think for like a second pass, this looks neat. Make some of these a little bit longer. Okay. A little bit more volume in this direction. Pop streamer, hey Nadeski, welcome on in. Okay. Alright, cool. I think I'm gonna leave the hair for what it is today. So let's stick in the face region and see if we can work on the ears a little bit. Because those things also have not received a whole lot of attention. So yeah, this is still the blockout. This is still the blockout topology. So if we look at, I mean, I think they're already there by quite a bit. We can probably sharpen up the shapes a little bit. Let's see. I'm gonna work on a duplicate as a starter. I'm gonna see if I can get some better sculpting topology for what is Jiri mesh? Geometry. Okay, that already looks pretty clean. See if we can reduce it by a bit. Okay. Let's see, can we do a quick poly paint? plus a little bit of the ear volume. And I think I want to do it with Acu curve, so we really get that point in there. Let's see, let's grab, so if you look at the poly paint, yeah, we have a little bit of poly paint. Let me just quickly reapply that. Let's see, what do these look like? See if we can poly paint them a bit cleaner. Again, this poly paint is temporary. Later on in Substance, we will absolutely do it a lot cleaner. Though for the moment, it's we can use it as a sanity check. Them a little bit. Okay, we lost some volume here. Let's quickly put that back in. Okay. Oh. We actually lost some volume in here, which makes the ear piercings no longer work. Big moves we do on the lowest subdiv, and we'll just nudge it forward. So that works again. Though looking at this ear piercing, oh, with the ear, I feel like the lowest one needs to be angled backwards a bit more so that it's not that. This feels too close to the edge of the ear, like edge. Let's see, these are their own polygroups, I hope. Oh. Oh. Hey Digitwolf, welcome on in. I've been streaming for I think this is session 11, so 2 months now? Let's move this one back a little bit. Yeah, welcome on in. Hope you'll enjoy your time here. Right, let's see. Line them up. Okay, that's maybe not line them up that much. And over here we'll have to thin this out. Kenyon for partner streamer. Well, let's get comfortable to associate or affiliate streamer first. The days of being a Twitch partner are probably still months and months away. Like you need a what were the requirements? Stream quite a significant amount of hours in a single like 30-day period, and then also have 75 consistent viewers. That is going to take a while. I'm gonna hazard a guess. Is this the new version of ZBrush? No, I am on 2022. I did not choose to go into the new version so that they could get like a subscription model out of me. I am more than fine with a by now outdated perpetual license. If anything, I do not find anything in the newer versions of ZBrush to be worth it to update, and especially now with their anti-consumer version of subscription only, I think it's abhorrent. Okay, let's put a little bit more definition into what is the soft ear part and what is the like the more firmer outside with the cartilage. Oh yeah, we on 20 plus viewers? Oh heck, there's 24 of you folks in here. Hi. Yeah. Let's see. Train of thought fell out of my brain. Right, working on the ears. Working on like where is the cartilage? Looking at the concept art, this ear fluff can go way bigger. We all have fluffy ears in this household. Yeah, how have you been doing, Digi? Have you made any more prints? Let's see. Again, let's do the silhouette trick. So yeah, this, I feel like this needs to curve the other way. Give it some really big ears, because that's again something really nice.
Small businesses, telephone communication is still a kind of groping in the dark. Hello? Who's this? But now you can
I'm not touching anything as this thing is auto-saving. I'd like to very much keep it to only one crash per session. Don't think I want to have this silhouette be so. Again, curves versus straight lines. I think I want to have this be a straight line. we see it from the front, it's a straight line, but as we get into the back, that's like a curvature like this. Cool. And then this guy is missing a little notch in his right ear. So we are going to turn off symmetry, and then with I think we can do this with the clip curve. We can do something like this. Now he's missing a little triangle. Okay. So, sorry, I should explain. So with the clip curve, I think if you were here in a previous stream, if you make a curve, it will push every polygon that's on. If you see this line, it's a dotted line, and one of them has like a little gradient shadow on it. Everything that's going to be on that side of this curve is going to get squashed. So it grabs all of the polygons and just moves it down. So that is really nice if you want to do like little cutouts. In this case, a little notch in the ear. So what I do is I hold down Control Shift. So we go to the clip curve in the top left. So you can see that. I hold it out and then let's see. Nope, wrong button. Whenever you press Alt, you make like a little plot point. And then you can like making a little custom make a little custom shape. And what you can also do is hold out and then push Alt twice, so you put like two of these little control points on one point, which allows you to make like a little nice sharp point. So we make a little triangle out of it, and that's how we get like a little notch out of it. We will. It's a little bit of a rough clip, so we'll have to slightly clean it up, make sure that RGB is turned off. Also just do it with the Acu curve and then pull in some of these vertices. Let's see if we go to brush, smooth, and again, I like this brush a lot, smooth direction. So now if we go through it like this, it's only going to be smoothing out in one direction. It looks a bit grimy, so we have to clean that up. Can I just... polish it up a bit. And just not touch it too much. Give it one more subdivision. Now we have it, like a small little notch. keep nudging it. I shouldn't do that. Okay. Cool, so that's the ear fixed. Yeah, comparing it to the old ears. Slightly stronger silhouette. Oh. Hey lols, welcome on in. Happy to see you in here. Let's see. I would like to have some of these edges to be a little bit sharper. I get that with a smooth. Oh shoot. I didn't do that with symmetry, so let's save first. I've been depressed a bit. Oh no, had to move back from Newcastle back to Paris, now moving back to Poland, so kinda on a hiatus. I'm sorry to hear that, DG. It's always rough when you have to when you're forced to move back into something else. But yeah, I hope that you'll have a good time at your parents and then quickly can get back on your feet. Okay, hang on, we saved and now we're gonna do a smart resim. Okay. We can get rid of the old ears. Clean up naming convention. It'll be okay, we will survive. Yeah, alright. Always hold on to hope. Okay, let's see. Little rods. Let's give them a near. Oh. Make sure that the ear subtool remains visible. Alright, looking at the face. I have not checked this guy without his mask for quite a while. So this can go away. Delete, yes. Let's actually look what is underneath the mask. And this is still very much basic block out. I think we can do a better job at this. Also at some point I need to open his mouth. Because currently that's just a Damien standard curve. No more streaming for me anymore. Gonna lurk and be a gremlin in everyone's chat. Yeah, go be a gremlin lurker. Okay. Let's see. For the train of thought. Come on, we still need to go for an hour. What is wisdom? I don't know. Because I think the final presentation will have this character with the mask on. Oh wait, ads in progress. Let me actually grab some water real quick. I'll be right back. What? Alright. I got some water, some stretches. Cool. Alright, Digi, I'm gonna disappear for now. Remember to have videos on, so I'm gonna rewatch streams. Yes, being a Twitch affiliate lets me save my VODs up to 14 days. After that, they get automatically removed. However, I have been recording everything locally, and I need to find a good way to upload them all to YouTube. So this entire project is being recorded and should be up at YouTube at some point, so people can look back and maybe learn a thing or two from them. Okay, train of thoughts. I think I want to, as a final presentation, want to do this character with the mask. So for production's sake, I'm not going to disregard it. Like, we need to have the proper shapes underneath it. But for now, I think I want to focus on the mask. So looking at it again with fresh eyes, I think. Because this really looks like this. Again, if we look at the concept art, it really looks like this. This part, the bottom part of the mask, that is almost flush with the like that is overlapping their upper lip. If you look at this, and this probably needs to be lower. This one can be a bit more angular. Curve, have to turn it off a little bit. Okay, so we're in a little bit of a pinch because this is where on 2D they drew it with such. Oh, thank you, lols. Yes, it's getting there. I'm quite happy with it. Shirt, main body, and pants are still big things to do, but for today we're focusing on the face. Train of thoughts. This. I think in the concept art that we see in the top right is where they also have like they're pulling their upper lips up. So I don't think it in neutral it does not need to go flush with the lips. However, I do think that the teeth can be a bit longer. Then we have this. This is like really thin pinch. Just trying to get those angles a lot more in there. Also, just as a test, because this thing is also metal. If we were to the material channel, fill it with metal, just so we get like a slightly better read on the where it all goes. So with the H polish brush, very carefully, and also definitely want to keep these points in. This needs to get cleaned up. Oh, was that the music? Oh, this one always gets me. It's the quiet part before the next song starts. It always makes me think that, oh, my media player crashed out. There's no more music. Let's see. Hey, Uncle Wolfie, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well today. Let's see. Okay, this is where the polygons begin to scream a little bit, because this, as we can see here, this last time we tried to work with clean topo, but then we just started sculpting over it anyway. So some of these polygons are in pain, and we'll probably have to z-remesh at some point, which we will, but I want to get that planar look in there first. Let's see, Dimian standard, carve this back in. And again, I would love to do this in Maya so that we get our really clean topology in there. But I feel like if we do this with our sculpting, that we're gonna get like these little imperfections, and that's gonna give it a lot more character. So I'm fighting myself right now of like, oh, but like, what if we can just shoot it over to Maya? We'll sub-demodel it. It'll be fine. It's like, no, we are sticking in ZBrush. We're gonna do this with H-polished brush. Also, Kodai Shep, thank you very much for the follow. Very much appreciate it. It's a bit of a... This has a bit of a swoosh in it. Uncle Wolfie asking how 3D is going. It's going well. We've only had one crash today. So welcome on in, Kodai. Thank you very much for the kind words. Again, to clarify, top right, the 2D concept is made by Il55. I am not a 2D artist. I'm a 3D artist. Full credit for their 2D design goes to Il55. I'm just trying to make it into a 3D model, and this is the progress that we have so far. And then we also have the cool axe. Oh, and an autosave. Cool. Yeah, thank you. And welcome on in. I hope you'll enjoy your stay here. We are currently working on the mask. Let's see. Okay. Need to get this planar in. Yeah, welcome on in. If you don't mind me asking, how did you find my channel? It was a Twitch recommendation, or was it a tax? Was it Blue Sky? Saw your channel pop up in the recommended tab here on Twitch. Ah, nice. And you decided to click on it. Thank you very much. So I've been streaming once a week, slowly but surely building up a small audience, and we've been working on this bard for this is session 11. So this is also pretty nice because it forces me to focus on it like without interruptions. And it's also a timer, so this being session 11, I know that this project is currently roughly around 33 hours. Yeah, well, I've been using Twitch for the better part of a decade now. But the live streaming I've been making a serious effort into it for the last 2 months now. I think I started. I'll have to check my Blue Sky post to see when like I started, and then go back from there. Because there are, I think it was 3 streams back in 2016, 2015. And back then I was like, oh yeah, I really like streaming. I should do this more. And then I promptly never did. But this is the second time that we're like attempting streams. But this time we're doing it with a lot more discipline. And we have a character that we are hopefully going to push through the entire pipeline. Ah yes, emerging from the shadow to display his sculpting wizardry. Yes, I did level up my sculpting skills in the meantime, so yes, now it's. I like teaching other people, and I certainly hope that, like, from just me doing stuff here, might teach people a thing or two, and that would make me very happy. This is such a narrow angle. It's surreal to think that was so long ago. There's something that articulates. It's awesome that you're staying so committed to it and making a schedule each week. Yeah, so I am busy with some freelance tasks as well that have higher priority, but the least I can do is commit to the once a week. So yeah, this is a commitment, and if there's one thing that you need to know about me is that I'm tenacious. So when I say I'm gonna do something and I really mean it, I will do it. I think the craziest thing with that trade that I've done was back in, was it, I think 2014, 2015, where I decided I wanted to get better at ZBrush, specifically like character sculpting. So I chose to make a sculpt every single day and do that for an entire year. I did that. I probably suffered burnout from it, because I did not touch ZBrush for quite a while after that, but I said I'd do it and I did it. So 365 busts for an entire year. Let me tell you, that requires a lot of sacrifice. Because every evening you have to spend 2 to 3 hours on it. You can't. If your friends want to go to the movies and you're like, okay, cool, sorry, I can't join. When you realize that if you want to get good at something, more often than not, it does require sacrifice. Okay, let's do teeth. Carve this in. Have to cancel your hobbies and free time and commit to practicing each day to get better at something. Yeah, so you don't need to do it as vigorously as I chose to do with the I must do this every single day. Looking back at it now, I will probably advise against that. Doing daily practice will absolutely skyrocket you forward in terms of skill, but it also burns through your energy like a madman, and at the end of that year you are a hollow husk. So now with years of wisdom later, maybe don't do it every day, but do commit to a schedule at least. Okay, let's see. This one also needs to go a whole lot lower. But yeah, if you want to get good at basically anything, like the art, music, whatever, it will require the time, and the more you put into it, the faster you'll reach the goalpost that you set for yourself. Studying Japanese at the moment can definitely relate to that mindset. Yeah, learning languages, same thing. Daily small exercises or watching a show where they speak the language that you're trying to learn absolutely helps a lot. Cool. Actually, as a small thing, I want to put this metal shader on the metal parts that are actually metal, just so that we are one step closer to it looking like the way we want it to. These things are also metallic. miss any parts? Yeah, these are also metallic. Alright, cool. It's always tough to form a schedule and socialize and learning at the same time. The things what you do is you feel... Yeah, so this is all about forming new habits. Forming habits is very difficult, especially, well, if you're trying to learn good habits, such as I would like to get better at an instrument, I would like to like start walking every day for physical health, I would like to start doing exercises. When you start with it, especially if you announce it to other people, you get that, what do you call the brain chemical that makes you happy? Where you tell other people your intention and you feel good about it and you get the chemical stuff and you're like, yay, I'm doing well. And then several days later you quit. Because you had the euphoria moment of like, yeah, you had the serotonin kick of like, I'm telling people that I'm doing better, yay. And then stuff gets a bit more difficult. And then before you know it, you've stopped the exercise or you stopped your daily practice. And then you're back to square one. I forgot the timeline required to like really hammer in a new habit, where you start doing it on autopilot, and that's when stuff gets a whole lot easier. But before you hit that spot, you really need to sit down and make a schedule for yourself, and that'll help you achieve the goal a lot faster. Or rather, not the goal, but the habit. Because once you hammered in the habit, everything is gonna go a lot smoother. Again, like I can say this from experience because I've done it with the daily sculpts. I've done it with plenty of other things. I've done it with art. Like the second you start putting in a schedule and start taking it a lot more serious, yeah, things are going a whole lot smoother. So again, with streaming as well. God, the first time I was looking at that go live button, I had to tell a friend to like, okay, if I don't press that button now, I will find an excuse to not do it for another month. So here goes, press go live and experience fear because you are exposing yourself to Twitch. There's random people in here. You are starting from a sphere. It's the potato face of a project. It's not going to look professional. It's scary. But now that we've been doing it for a few months, it's still scary to press the go live button, but nowhere near as scary as it was at the beginning. So a new habit is forming. I know it's Wednesday. I know I want to stream because I want to talk to people as well. So it's getting there, where this is now a new habit. Okay, it's also gotten to the point where I now have to tell my parents where if they're calling me to like have a checkup on how things are going, it's like, hi, I'm sorry, it's Wednesday, I'm live streaming. They sound very proud of it, so it's like, okay, good luck. And then they promptly hang up the phone again, so now they also know that on Wednesdays, I'm temporarily not available. So I really should do more with masking, so that when we use H-polish, we will only affect the polygons that we want to. So looking at the mask that we have now, and again, putting it next to where we started. I would definitely call that an upgrade. If we go from the old one where everything was a little bit more mushy, and the one we have for now where we have these nice little planar, like the sharpness, we have it a lot more there. So yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm happy with that. Let's see. We have half an hour remaining. Okay, so it does look like this also has like this is a. We're gonna do the straps, which will also force us into the next stage, which is the cheek fluff. Also, we have ads coming in a minute, so get up, do your stretches, be healthy. For the moment, let's see. Yes, they are still flat polygon strips, so that's good. And these things are kind of sitting on the ear. We have tension. I do not want it to. So it looks like the upper ones are a lot thinner. Let me make sure that that is in there. And then again in the 2D. Okay, so we can either have them just go into the hair and it's gonna look like they're just gonna bundle in there, or we can make it so that it actually loops around the ear, which if you look at it from a functioning point, that's probably the way to do it. And then we have like the lower one that goes over the back of the head. So let's actually go ahead and... Oh, we are in an ad break, great. We are going to bridge. So bridge this edge to this edge. Okay. And we are going to insert some nice loops here. Not too many because we want to work with a low poly version first. And then we are going to move it into place, where it is going to wrap around the ear. Is this necessary? Probably not, but I do want it. I'm a big fan of when things are constructed properly rather than like straps and bands just going somewhere and then they just vanish underneath another element, but the construction is not entirely clear. Again, it's auto-saving, we're not touching this, we do not want another crash. Okay. Not polish. Or rather, gonna get rid of this one. So yeah, we're gonna have it so that this is actually going behind the ear. even though you won't really see it, especially if I turn off the hair for a bit. There we go, character's bald now. The ears should not be in the hair folder. I would like this to go over it like this. Again, this is not required. It's just something that I like to do. This type of habits are nice if you want to make characters that have multiple outfits. Because for example, if let's say that this is a character for a game and you can choose different hairstyles. If we want to have the bald option, then all of a sudden these straps do become visible, and now you see that they just go into nowhere. But if you have them looping like this, then they would hold up, and the player would see like, oh yeah, they loop behind the ears, and they would loop behind the neck. So again, just as practice, I'm gonna put that in. Make sure that I stay on a proper subtool. We need to uncrease everything. Increase all, and do a little polish. So again, I like polish by features because it respects the shape that you're trying to follow. If you do polish, it just becomes thin. And yeah, I'll just connect this one as well. So again, it's good practice. Let's see. So Z modeler on an edge, we're going to choose bridge. These things are on alphabetical order, so bridge, line 1, line 2, line 1, line 2. Cool. And now we insert some polygroups. Or rather, if we go to insert. And with this one, all I want is a midline. So we have this, we click mirror and weld. Is this correct? Oh, line, yes, cool. And we will auto group. What if I mask out these parts and polish them? Yeah, there we go. That's a good workflow. give him back his hair. To me, that looks pretty neat. Okay, let's see. Gotta make sure that they don't taper towards the edge. This is upright. Let's see. I do want to give this thing its center line back. Oh, just one. Now we're gonna give it some thickness, extrude everything, all polygons. We flip it because we do not want inverted normals. We crease our polygroups. We give it an insert. Let's see. Set our crease level to 3, so it holds on to the creaser for 3 levels, and then we subdivide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Check the edges. It's getting a little bit wobbly. I don't want that, so. Now we'll level 4, polish a few times, so we get that little curved edge. Alright, nice. And these things also have small studs in them. So again, where can we steal them from? Probably the ones down here. Yes. Duplicate. We'll rename. We'll call them face mask or face mask strap studs. Kick them to the top. Put them in the proper folder. Which is skull mask. One. Hidden. These are really small. Small creative liberty. I'll also put one up top here, make it slightly bigger. Because I do believe that on the concept there's like a little line, so I think they want to indicate a small detail there as well, so for consistency we'll put a stud there too. And then we mirror and weld, so now it's everywhere. Cool. So that's another element done. What else can we do? Oh, it has... Okay. Oh, nope, not move tool. Gotta clean up this side a little bit. Does look like there's like, what's it called, like a little indentation here. Nope, do not touch that timeline. We do not want to undo like 400 steps. That would be a huge waste of time and effort. We have like some scratches. I think I want to keep the scratches for the texturing phase. Like this is an actual silhouette change, so we put it in there. Other things, actually it looks like this. Just go in. Rather, wait, brush. Where are the orb? Stay. Orb brushes. And we'll use orb crack. This does look like this is an actual indentation. So nice little a nice little thing you can do in ZBrush is when you make a brush stroke, you can hit 1 and it will repeat the last action. So if you want to have like a really smooth, like you do it once and you're like, okay, I want it to be a bit deeper, you just hit 1 a few times and every time is going to repeat the last, the last action. However, the same goes for if you, let's say you make a stroke, and you move the camera. Moving your camera is also an action. So if you were to move, or yeah, let's say you make a stroke, you're like, okay, how does it look from a different angle? Why is it not doing it? I swear Yeah. So if I move, it also thinks that the camera movement is an action. So be mindful, like your camera view before you start hacking away at it. Okay, maybe centerfold is a bit too sharp. Okay, a little bit of time remaining. What can we work on that is not going to explode our brain? Let's see. Not quite sure. I think I'm quite happy with all of the progress that we've had for the like. We definitely put a pretty big update on the head. If you look at what we had, where we are now. So that is definitely an upgrade. What is the next thing that we can work on? Like in the last 10 minutes remaining, maybe update the cheek fluff a little bit. Because again, we did the cheek fluff before he had the mask. So actually, let's see if we can update those. Actually have them fold around. So again, like it's mass. It's that one's way too big. So that things are sitting on each other. Fur is fluffy. It can bounce out a little bit. Oh, wait, this is move directional. That's why it's moving weird. So we'll go back to regular smooth. There we go. And let's actually put in a few smaller tufts so we get that fluffy feel. I'm gonna see remesh these because we can see like a little bit of weird artifacting going on at the tips and we don't want that. So see remesh, see what comes out of it. What? Oh, those are also part of this one. Okay. I mean I can work with that. So keep groups, see remesh. We lose a bit of color, but it's fine. We can just go back here. Keep. Oh nope, not material. Polish. All of these tufts will kill me later on in the retopology stage, but that's for future Canyon. High poly Canyon only wants it to look good. Okay, there's a little bit of planning in how am I going to retopology, or like how am I gonna have these tufts work. But for the moment, I am more focused on wanting it to look good. That is too small. At some point we will. Okay, we're getting close to this step. Currently, we still see a seam between. So the body and the head are two different subtools. We are rapidly approaching the point where I need to make a decision on do I want to do it in ZBrush of opening the mouth, putting the teeth and the tongue in, and save retopology until like after that stage. Or am I going to kick this over into Maya, give it a basic retopology, import it back into ZBrush, and then perform final sculpting detail on that, and then do the mouth interior? I'm not quite sure yet. But we are rapidly approaching that decision milestone. But for now, we'll leave that for what it is. Or rather, translation. I'll think about it during the week and see how we're going to do that eventually. Because again, I want to showcase all of it on stream, and if I have to do it in Maya, then I will have to change my streaming setup a little bit. So we will get to that. Okay, I wanted to like follow that jawline a little bit, so I want to get this line in there. There's one stuck behind it. Nudge this up. So that, okay, this is a little bit of planning, where we want these tufts to line up with the loop, the polygon loop that's going to go across the jawline. Though this is definitely going to require some tweaking later on. I think for now, just looking at the silhouette, I want the silhouette to be more like this. Okay. Hello again, who? Janu happy. So yeah, if we look at what we have now versus where we were 3 hours ago, looking at the head, I'd say that this is a definite improvement. Hang on, let me... So yeah, the mask is definitely an upgrade. The hair is a lot more wispy. Ears got cleaned up. So yeah, overall, again, I'm proud of the progress. I'm happy with it. And we have hit our 3-hour mark, so I can be proud of that too. Alright, so I think this is where I'm going to call it. Let me go find a raid target that we can all go say hi to. I think I saw some friends come online. So give me a quick second to see who of them are maybe streaming some art. Let's see. There's some familiar faces. Ah, okay. I see a nice target. Cool, everyone. Oh, all of you are in Agile right now. But okay. Let's wait for a little bit for these ads to end. But I definitely know a target that we're all gonna say hi to. They're a good friend of mine. They also started streaming recently, and they're also doing 3D. So if you enjoy 3D, definitely stick around. Now we're gonna say hello to another upcoming 3D artist. Waiting for advertisement to end on Twitch. Okay. Yeah, for next time I'll definitely have to look at how... I think it's time to make a decision on the face for next time. I really need to put the teeth in, I really need to get those lips more pronounced. So, yeah. Alright, ad break is over. Cool. So for the people who were in Agile, we're wrapping up for today. Though stick around for the raid. I have another 3D artist in the crosshairs that we are absolutely gonna say hi to. So we are going to raid Royce, good friend of mine, a splendid 2D artist that is working their way towards 3D. And they're currently doing stuff in ZBrush. So we're gonna say hi to them. If you have my emotes, as always, we'll go with the good vibe rates. So if you have my emotes, you can use this as a message. If you have channel points, you can unlock them and then use it like that. and then we're gonna go say hi to Royce. So to everyone, thank you very much. Thank you all very much for watching. Greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to see more of me, here is my social media. I will post another update, a progress shot this time. And then hopefully I'll see all of you next time. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.